You know, it's one thing if you pay the most and you get the best, right? I mean, we can all wrap our head around that model. The problem is, whether it's education, where we're 28 in the world, as I said before, we pay by far the most per pupil for education, right? And we're ranked 28 in the world. In the United States of America, we shouldn't be ranked 28 in anything. I don't care if it's knitting sweaters, we shouldn't be ranked 28 in the world. I mean, we're America. We win at everything. We need to, you know, we've always been winners. And we're not winning. I mean, we're just not winning. You see this Iran deal where they give $150 billion back to a country, again, that hates our guts. And again, I'm not a policy guy, so like, excuse me for even stepping out of my little, you know, we give a country $150 billion, they can't stand us. And the next week, instead of buying a fleet of planes from Boeing, Iranian Airlines buys a fleet of planes from Airbus, right? Airbus is great. Unfortunately, they're a European company. They're a French company. They're not a U.S. company. So wouldn't somebody have the common sense to say, you know what, guys, guess what? You're going to be buying these planes off of Boeing. You know, that's what you're going to do. Like, that's kind of our little deal, you know? And if you're not going to do it, guess what? We're not going to give you the $150 billion back.
I have been saying since I started this campaign that we have to take our country back from a political establishment, a media establishment, liberal elites that have taken our country over, actually. You are pretty sophisticated consumers of politics and politicians, and you've seen politicians and members of the establishment roll through here, cycle after cycle, and promise you the same things, and yet nothing really changes, actually. The government gets bigger and bigger, has been doing so for 50 years. Politics and politicians and the government don't work for the people who pay for them anymore. And we have a bunch of folks running, including Mr. Trump, by the way, who are all part of the system. We have politicians who've been part of the system their entire career, and we have Donald Trump, who's a very successful businessman, give him a lot of credit. But he's made his billions buying off people on the inside of the system. They're all the system. People in New York and Washington decided that they know best, and you don't need to hear from all 8 candidates who are still in this race. They decided it didn't matter that I actually beat a couple candidates on that stage already, that it didn't matter that I was tied with one of the candidates on that stage in delegates. They kind of said our rules matter more than votes and delegates.